let's do some shooting. Oh, beautiful.
Should be that button. Why am I dark? Why am I dark? Why is that broken? Start. No. Hold on, give me a second. Right, you can hear us at least. Or should be able to hear us. Good evening anyway. Bear with me 2 seconds. Lose. Why is that? Somebody been dicking around with my light. It should hopefully work. Right. Looks, it feels dark to me, Kangaroo. It feels dark coming from that direction. Where's my phone? Have I turned the volume, not the volume down, the brightness down? There's no such a thing. Left hand light. That. Come on. Present me with options. Yeah. It's too dark. There we go. Why had that turned itself down? Anywho, that is that. Good evening and welcome to Tuesday Night Edits, episode 143, I think it is. Thank you very much for coming along, everybody. Good to see you all. All right, let's just get this out the way and get that out the way. And I hope you are all well, keeping well, and all that kind of stuff. How nerdy does that look? Oxford English Dictionary sitting on my desk. Get rid of that. Yes, I was looking up words the other day for upcoming project. I needed help with words because words and me don't really mix. But anyways, are you all right, everybody? Good to see you. Good morning, Kangaroo. Hello, Peter. And if you've already gone, hope you enjoy your hiking. Yes, just feel free to pick me brain anytime. Drop us a line, Zoom call or whatever. Not a problem. I can help. Or I can try to help. Anyway. Good afternoon, Ozzy. Evening, Susanna. Hope you're well. Sten, how are you? Good to see you. What else we got? Kangaroo's here, yes. Good morning. Yeah, you already said that. Good evening, Alistair. Good to see you. Already start whispering. Am I whispering already? I do apologise. Oh yes, the slurping's back as well. Yes. Full on slurp mood. And the mic is a bit closer as well. So more sound effects. Evening, David. Did I already say that? Hope you're well. Evening, Simon. Yes, then there was like, good evening, Kazi. Good to see you. How are you doing, sir? Good afternoon, Rodney. Your new name. Welcome. Welcome along. Hope you enjoy your stay. Evening, Alan. How are you doing? I thought you might have been out photographing tonight, Alan. We haven't seen as the sun's been out. It's looking very hazy out there. I thought it could be pretty. I was fully intending on doing a lot of photography this week because the kids are back to school this week. Or eventually this week anyway. And everywhere should be a lot quieter. So it'll be not as horrendous going out and about. And here we are, the end of Tuesday. I haven't even thought about photography yet. So we might get out this week sometime. Of course, we've got one nice day left, and then it's meant to become away wet and thundery and stuff. So it might be a bit crap. But we'll see. An evening, Jerome. Hope you're well as well. Is there aurora forecast, Alan? Sea fog at Amble. Well, yeah, it has got that look about it. It does seem to be a bit greyer than what it was earlier on. Yeah, that's always the way. Aurora forecast. Right, okay. I will keep that in mind. Not that, I was going to say, no, I haven't shot any aurora for ages. I haven't shot any photography for ages. That's the sad fact, is that, yeah, not been out a lot recently. So let's hope I get out a little bit this week, wherever that may be. Been a long... Feels like it's been ages. I mean, it must be 3 weeks since I was out with you, Alan. Along at the lighthouse. It's got to be. Well, it's got to be 2 weeks anyway. 2 weeks yesterday, maybe. So yes, I haven't been out. So we are again going to be delving into the deepest, darkest reaches of my archive to make something from old stuff. Now, with all the recent NFT things going on, I have been going back through the archive to try to find, in a way, to not quite explain what I do, but kind of give a visualization of some of the extremities that my images go through, going from the starting point through to the end point. So I've been going back to find some of my older work, or the beginnings of it, so I can put them out on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen a couple of these where I've put in how it started and how it ended, posts, and the one frame from the starting and then the end result. Just hopefully that that kind of sits. Some collector might see it and be interested enough to click on the image to potentially look at it, to buy it. So I've been doing a bit of that, and that's meant going back into the archives quite far back, because mainly my main collection is all 2017 and beforehand. So the stuff on there is quite old. So having to go back through the old archives, you see a few shots that with 2021 eyes and tastes and knowledge, you see there's a little bit of potential in some of them. So tonight, basically, that's what we're going to do, is just pick a few images from back in the day and have a bit of a play around with them and see what we come away with. Now, some of them the section I was thinking about, I've just had a look through to see what's there. And the other day it looked promising, and now I'm like, how the hell am I going to put them together? So it could be a little bit tricky tonight. But then again, maybe sometimes that's some of the better episodes. So, right. But before we get into that, I would just briefly like to say a big thank you to my Patreon subscribers for their support this month. You should have all got your wallpapers the other day. God, it's the 7th already, a week ago. Should have got your wallpapers a week ago. How is it the 7th of September already? That's just wrong. Anyways, so, yeah, and thank you very much for everybody supports me on that, especially Larry, Jerry, Paul, and the other Paul, for their massive contributions on the Maul vs. Obi-Wan tier. Big thanks to them. If you want to join them, you can find out more on patreon.com/Andrew S. Gray. And that button, isn't it? Yes, it is. And yeah, what else am I going to mention? Yes, put out NFTs, collections, all that kind of stuff. I have sold 2 NFTs now. So that's brilliant. Really, really pleased with that. Obviously, I'm nowhere near the big boys that are turning over collections here, there, and everywhere. So yes, it's... oh no, Simon. The Santa hat has disappeared. I think my niece might have stolen it. So I might have to invest in a new Santa hat for all the Christmas episodes. Good evening, Diane. Thank you very much, Ozzy. Yes, I'm very pleased about the 2 sales. Obviously, you knew about I think you knew about the first one last week. I think I probably told you then. And I sold one the other day to a very long-term friend. Basically, we knew each other when we were toddlers. So it was fantastic. He supported me and my career for many years in various guises. So it was really blown away that he would enter the world of NFTs, pretty much especially to collect one of my pieces. So that was rather special. So I am on the lookout for collector number 3 and other people. And I mean, the other thing is that Ethereum took a dip today. So basically, it feels like everything's on sale because it's the value of Ethereum's dropped quite a bit earlier today. It's rallied again, but it's even now you can pick up work, not necessarily mine, but other people's work as well, for quite a chunk cheaper than what they were yesterday. Put it that way. That's pretty much how these things work. But yeah, so NFTs have been my life, and the rest of my life has been taken over by parish council duties, which is just really depressing and crap. If anybody ever asks you if you want to be on a parish council where you live, just say no. Because it's just a nightmare trying to keep everybody happy. So, right, I don't think I've got nothing else to shill or flog or anything like that. So we might as well just get on with a bit of editing. I don't think I've got anything else to show. You might remind me, but yeah. Right, so close that down, and then we'll bring up. What lens do I prefer when doing ICM? That's a great question there, Sten. I will bring it on the screen. I'm mainly 99% of the time, probably higher than 99% of the time, I'll use my 16 to 35mm lens. Mainly because my rather extravagant movements, I can get away with more using a wide lens. If I did those same movements with a 50mm lens, then I wouldn't be able to retain control, is maybe not the right word, retain the composition that I require using quite a lot of movement. And obviously if I was using like a 70 to 200, if I ever use that, zoomed out to 200 especially, you don't have to move that very far before you completely lose where you're at. So that is why I use my 16 to 35mm. So a lot of, some ICM photographers out there will probably use a fairly lengthy zoom lens, but it just depends on what you're photographing, really. Because a longer zoom lens is probably easier for moving stuff up and down. If you're 16 to 35mm lens, if I'm doing going to the woodland and move the camera up and down, then you get the concave kind of trees, the kind of curve in like that, because it is so wide. It's different lenses for different strokes and all that. But I basically use my wide lens so I can do more flinging of arms. That's pretty much what it is. Quite right, Steve. Peter, have a good walk. Enjoy yourself. Yes, I would have to become a millionaire before I could afford it to take you all out for a pint, Simon. So, right. 24 to 70. I mean, to be honest, if I had 24 to 70, Simon, I would probably use it because I tend to shoot my 16 to 35 at about 20 to 24. So if I had a 24 to 70, I would probably just zoom all the way out and go with that. There you go. But 16 to 35 is pretty much my lens of choice because I only have 3 lenses. I'm not one of these people that has lots and lots of money to go and buy lots and lots of lenses. I invested in a wide, a mid-range prime, and a zoom and a telephoto zoom. And they're the lenses I've used for 11, 12 years now. So that's just actually on my me Nifty 50. It's probably 13 or 14 years old now, if not more, to be honest. 15, 16 years old, maybe. Yeah. But like I say, if I had a 24, to be honest, I could probably get rid of all my lenses and just buy a 24-70. But yeah, I don't like getting rid of things. I'm a bit of a hoarder. Right, so pictures. This button should, yes, there we go. Right, so it was this image that is available as an NFT in it because it featured in my 2017 book. Is this image, and so I was going back looking for the originating piece, and I came across all these wonderful starting points. You know, some of this has got some nice movement. Lord knows why I was facing into the sun. Everybody knows how complicated that is, but it was 6 years ago. I've learnt a lot over that time. So anyways, there was a few bits in here which I thought looked quite interesting. Some nice, you know, this one looks quite good. Just by itself, without doing anything. Obviously there's a lot of dust spots in this one. Not to worry. So we're just basically looking at possibly doing something with these. Something similar. Just thinking with new, you know, not fresher ideas, but, you know, got used to other techniques and such, and things have developed over the last 6 years, which I haven't really contemplated since these. So, that's the idea. I mean, some of the, you know, like I said, some of these back in the day, I really did quite like a lot. You know, tastes change though. So we could do something. I mean, obviously, you can probably tell from the movement that a lot of this movement is a lot less. Obviously, because it's, when did I photograph this? Bang in the middle, 23rd of August. So it was obviously very, very bright and sunny. So shutter speeds are obviously quite a bit shorter to get movement and such things. But yeah, I mean, this was one of the resulting image from this series was one of my favorite images of that year. You know, quite a lot of light flecks and things like that. The subtle hint of the pier. Really quite liked it. And then you've got this image. Might as well go through show you something. This image is actually just facing straight down into the harbour. And this is I think it's like, yeah, it's basically that shot barely even touched, just cropped. I barely did anything to it, which, as you know, is extremely rare for me. And I think, actually, when I shot it, it was a bit of a mistake because I wasn't really looking where I was photographing. Because you can see the images beforehand is that, and then the images after that is that. So I've just made a complete balls by aiming down in this area, and that ended up being the best shot of the day. So let's have a look at some of these. Maybe it's not the pier. I was thinking about the boats because they could be quite challenging. So let's have a look at. Yeah, let's have a look at. I'm gonna give these ones 2 stars so I can find them. The ones I see something in to edit, and I'm not really concerning myself about all these light streaks because I think they kind of add something a little bit more abstract to the image, which hopefully will benefit it. So these two. Just because it kind of, the boats aren't really there because of the way things are. And then maybe just one where the boats actually are there. So something like that. Now some of these will probably already be edited because I think the dust spots have gone from there. So what I'm going to do is pick them. These ones where I've picked out twos. Yeah. Okay. See what editing we've done on them already. If any. Yes, we've done some. Yeah, still a few dust spots there. So we'll just tidy these up a little bit further. But I think I'm going to go in and change some colours and stuff. Now the boat on the left hand side, on my side of the screen, it is kind of bugging me a bit because I think most of the story is here in the middle. So we'll see what happens with this. Obviously, since this time, I do a lot more blending work than what I used to. So maybe he's doing something as the image comes together. Might not get rid of it, but minimise this kind of area. So we'll see how that goes. Right, colour-wise, I mean, you can see from here. Not for me. Great. As you can see from this side, there is very little been done, and obviously Lightroom's been upgraded a fair few times since then, so we might get some better results. So we're gonna just bring these back to 0. This is all in place. Let's open up the corners a bit so there's a bit more vignette, a bit less vignette in the corner. Just aligning up detail where we're at. Yes, see, back in the day, you see, I didn't used to do noise reduction very much. But since then, I have realised the error of my ways, so we need to sort that out. And we'll just leave sharpening on its default value. And so back in the basics tab, I don't think there's anything done on curves. No, doesn't look like it. Back in the basics tab, we've got the new updated, I'm saying new since 2015, new updated Adobe Color profile. That just does something there. I'm not sure what it does. No, a little bit different. Yeah. Landscape would enhance it even further, adding more blues and stuff. What's that? Additions. Okay. Oh, that's a Facebook ad. Right. So, yeah, landscape adds in, the old orange. Is it teal and orange? Teal, the old film colours. That's good. Auto. Let's see what this does. Not a lot. It does kind of warm it up a bit. Daylight. Excuse me. That warms it up a lot. Okay, let's just knock that back a bit. I don't want it too bright. Obviously, landscape's going to give it a bit more contrast, but we can pull these out. Lighten those. So yeah, actually, well, maybe it's just maybe it's not so strong. Just drop the blues back in a little bit. I mean, obviously you can see the sun is there, so it is getting lower in the sky. So it must have been, probably tell me what time it was. 5:05, which I'm guessing is probably about 6:05, because I'm sure the camera wouldn't have been updated to proper time. So the sun is obviously getting lower in the sky by 6 p.m, even in late August. Feeling orange indeed, Kangaroo. Right, so we can go contrasty. I don't know. Pull out the whites, pull down the whites. Might be quite nice to have almost that ball of sun kind of being quite apparent rather than being washed out like that. So we can pull down that. Don't know, I'm not sure about pulling down the highlights because I do like images quite light. Remembering that the other frames on the other 3 frames of this blend are going to be kind of lighter anyway. So just keeping that in mind. Texture clarity, dehaze, don't think there's much to do in there. I think maybe add a bit of dehaze in there just to lighten the image a little bit there. I think that will probably do. Yeah, I think so. And then we'll sync these across these other 3 frames. See how they turn out. Right, that one has all of a sudden got a completely different colour. Why is that going a completely different colour? That's gone custom. Sure, did I designate that as custom? Because that's way different. Way different. Right, I'm just going to reset this one because it might have been a dual problem. Right, so there you go. Reset that to what it was. Let's go to that one. And sync all. We might just have a bit of an... Yeah, I think it's just a bit of an errant kind of image. It's the same problem. Not a problem. It's just a bit cool, a bit of a cooler image. But on some ungodly reason, let's go to daylight. That might warm it up. So we are going to get a bit of a difference here. So let's just, yeah, let's leave it like that. See what happens. Let's pull down on the highlights a little bit. Just so there's a bit of balance so it's not getting completely blown out. And you can see the colour. Maybe it's hard to see on screen between the two, but even here you can see a difference in colour temperature. Wonder why. I mean, I do photograph on auto, so if it's caught something in the sensor randomly, then that will cause an issue. Ah, well, not to worry, not to worry. We'll just crack on and get these into Photoshop and see what we can do. Right, waiting age for this to load. Maybe it'll come back to me. Right, whilst that loads, anybody got any news to tell? Any good things happening in the world? Because it just seems like it's crap here. I haven't bought anything new for ages. I mean, the last thing I bought was the old arm for this, which I still haven't got in a position that I'm really properly happy with, because it is still a bit in your face camera wise. But I've realised I do need to speak into this a lot closer than what I used to do. Right, so that's loaded. I forgot we're using the D700 files. They load fast, or faster. Did forget about these things. Right, so let's blend these together. So we've only got the 4 layers today. A bit more, excuse me. A bit more pressure on me to deliver. You know, do like sticking 5 or 6 in there and potentially just getting rid of a couple of them. So 4. Look at me. Pushing the boat out. Talking about pushing the boat out, Simon, off to buy a Nikon FE2 tomorrow. Very nice. Very nice. I must admit, I think my film camera has gone wrong. So I've been photographing with my film camera for about 3 months now. And a couple of weeks ago, it got to, on the dial thing, it said it's got up to its 36 image exposures. I'm like, all right, okay. Still went. And I'm like, well, you can usually get 1 or 2 extra. Still going. I think it's come off its rotors or whatever, or it's stuck or something. Because Same thing happened with me last film camera as well, because that just got stuck halfway, and then in the middle of the film there was like 20 shots on top of each other. Very, very annoying. What camera is it? It is not actually here. It is a Pentax something or other. Pentax. An Ashai Pentax. Spotmatic 2. Maybe something. I don't know. But I think it's either buggered or the films come off the rotor blades. The rotor blades? The rotor blades the right word? Come off the spool, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it is, Alistair. So it's just wondering at what point it slipped off, whether it was like 3 minutes after I put it on and didn't before I took any pictures, or whether it's slipped off towards the end of the film would be nice. So I need to wind it back and send it off at great expense to get made up into an image, to get it scanned and all that, to probably find that it came off in the first minute and there's nothing on the film, because that's my luck. Right, overlays, soft light, blah blah blah. Some interesting sheeps on the right hand side there. Yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting just to see if it's how far through the film it is. Because if it's, if it's more, if it's actually gone round a bit, then I don't mind. But it's very annoying. This is why digital's better. Because for a fact it's gonna, like, as long as you remember to put a card in it, you're gonna get some images. You don't know with these bloody film cameras. You don't even know if it's even on. So you're doing all this fancy bollocks of trying to remember to expose correctly and focus properly, because that doesn't help you. The camera doesn't help you with that either. And you're just like, really annoying. Right, what are we going to do with this, Andy? What are we going to do with this? I mean, darken's the easiest one, but the previous version was done using darken, so I'm thinking about, like, multiply looks really nice, but very dark. Lighten, we'll maybe just have to do some rearranging to make the most of this. So let's rearrange some of this. No, for God's sake. Okay, select a layer then. Right. Let's actually use the multiply layer. Get back into position. So multiply for them all. Let me try to do some lining up. Turn these lot off. Very good. Over there. Over there, I think. It's not fun when it doesn't work, David. It's not fun when it costs you 20 quid to get the bloody thing developed and there's nothing on it. Damn it. That's the one I need to pick. No fun at all. You can probably tell I'm in a pissed off kind of mood. I've had a rough week and it's only Tuesday. Right, so the top layer we want. I'm trying to line up on these on the boats on the right, kind of like so, and then we'll go through and look at the various options we now have. There's a lighting. Still a bit of a mess, isn't it? Still very. I mean, then again, there's some really interesting work on the top, the top right hand corner. Some really interesting bits where the pixels kind of meld together. So it might be one of these ones that, in the very, very rare occasions where I actually crop before I go into Analog Efex Pro, it doesn't happen often. As in, I think I've only ever done it once. But that boat on the left hand side is annoying me. It's distracting my eye. So potentially, if we go with lighting and maybe just do a little bit more moving around, we could get a shot of that boat on the left hand side by cropping it out. Maybe. David, you've got hundreds of new film cameras. But yes, tell us what it is. Screen, right, okay. Outlook, not Outlook, overlay. Where did I get Outlook from? Overlay. Pin light was interesting in the last one. Not so much this time. Right, I think we will go. Multiply. It's just straight out of the box. It's rather beautiful. But we are not here for that. Or could be an option. We might. Do we just go with multiply? Do we just fade some of these layers out? Lighten the foreground. Definitely need this one in. Maybe it's a little bit weaker. Let's reduce the weakness. Reduce the strength of this one. And then these one, definitely need that one in because it's got some, I was going to say some violent verticals. Where's my dictionary today? Well, I know where my dictionary is down here, but where's the dictionary in my head coming from at the minute? And that one off. And that one is a bit strong, so we can probably scale this one back with opacity. Something like so. Thinking about maybe even just dropping this one down a bit. I'll drop this down. And then the old masts off these boats aren't quite, they're not coming from through the boats. Yeah. Right, so might come back to the old potentially half in it. Let's just have a look at this and lighten. No, it's kind of lost its appeal. So it needs to go to multiply. There we go. Multiply, not that. God's sake. That one. Multiply. Right. Don't move. Yeah, so this is looking better. Let's just crop in. Crop tool. There we go. On to that one. Confirm. Right, so now what we want to do is maybe lighten it a little bit. Get a bit more light into the subject. Come on, keep on going. Give it a bit more of a Mediterranean kind of feel, maybe. Contrast or not contrast? Maybe not that much. Yeah, I'll say probably that's fine. Oh, hold on there, horse. Right, so color-wise, color. That'll be that one. Just have a little bit to play. Because, I mean, obviously this is 6 years after the fact since I shot this. And again, the first time I'm looking at it, and obviously we should have made leaps and bounds in the old processing and taste in art and the work we do. You know me, I do like a bit of red. So we've got a chance of pushing this a bit further than what it was before, to create something, you know, a lot different to what the previous version was. So I'm just thinking, this computer is still quite laggy. Right, okay, so actually, adding some of that lightness in there, even at this stage, is probably quite nice. Good evening, Aileen. How are you doing? We're barely scratching the surface yet, mid-year. So yeah, what I want to do here, I want to do this. Yellows, okay, fair enough. Increase, yeah. Why does it have to be all the yellows? That's the wrong way. Increase the yellows. But this is on a new... No, hold on a minute. I need to do this on a new hue and saturation layer, because otherwise I'll not be able to control it. Adding that, because I want to just mask in so that if I give a lot of yellow, then it's mainly to the sun kind of area. Excuse me. Right, so yellow. No, it was not. For God's sake, Andy, man. Back, behave. Pick yellows. There you go. Right. Jeez. Pick yellow. Make it yellow. Okay. Actually, add in saturation as well. Quite a bit of it. And then we can use this to go to masks and then go to invert. And then we can kind of paintbrush. There we go. Big fat thing. And it's... Let's increase the opacity to roughly half-ish. And let's just paint in this kind of area for where the sun is. Lovely, lovely, lovely. In you go. Paint it in. Lovely, lovely. Grand. Do we add in a bit of blue over here? I'm tempted. I'm very, very tempted. So let's go to, well, let's use curves this time. So we'll go to blues. That's green, Andy. Blue. Add in blue. Maybe it's not that much. It's about there. And again, we are going to go to that one and invert it. It's probably keystrokes, but you know, I'm lazy. And then in these corners, then zoom out a bit. And just in here, just bring it into kind of bluish. Just as a bit of contrast between the yellow in the middle and all that. So if I bring all those into a folder, we can turn them on and off, and then you can kind of see the difference from there. No worries, mate. Chances are, by the weather, it might not be much of a sunrise or sunset, but it would be good to get out, mate. You're very welcome, David. Tag along anytime you want. We'll let Alan organise it. That's the best way. Because I'll just cock it up. Right, so, yeah, right, where are we? So we've got a bit of change. Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, so this is a bit the image prep bit. Let's get into the old Analog Efex Pro and see what we get. It could be everything or nothing. Could be all over the place. Taking a while to load as per usual. Here we go. least it should be faster because it's the old camera. It won't be as long, in theory. Just wondering about some of these, how the double exposure will affect it later, because I haven't got the money. So looking down the list, ooh, there's some interesting ones already just appearing above my head here in the old previews. So we'll click on a couple of them just to see what they look like bigger. Interesting. Right, okay. Okay, right, smaller versions of them. Some of them look quite interesting, right? What about these pretty small previews? Yeah. First lot, I think. That one. Right, so, all right, first one to have a look at is this one. So just really assessing to see if a blown up version, you know, well, this area certainly gets rid of the old boat on the left-hand side problem, doesn't it? Don't think it works with the remaining. That's one option, and then this was the other one I saw, which instantly... And now I don't like it. So this is why, if it looks good on a small bit, it doesn't necessarily look good once you make it bigger and by applying it to the main image. We've got this one, which looked pretty promising. Fingers crossed. Does it remain so? I'm not so sure. I think it does. I mean, this line, this pointing at the bloody screen, this line across here does kind of give you a bit of a frame. So maybe if this will pull out of frame over this side, maybe even level that up. That might work and then kind of rebalance things. That could be an option. What else did we have a look at? What else did I see? I did see other options. What was this one like? Excuse me. Okay, no. Just randomly clicking now. No. And at this point, Diane's probably screaming at the thing, saying, "No, no, 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 go back, go back, go back." Because she told me that's what she does. Good evening, Daniel. I think it's Daniel, isn't it? Terrible with names. Hope you're well, sir. Thank you for the messages and stuff on Instagram this week. Honestly, terrible with names. I mean, this one's got... It's similar to the first one, though, isn't it? It's just slightly positioned differently. This one looks very moody. This one looks very moody, very classical. Apart from the option, apart from the big line down here, but a very classical kind of colour scheme. Bit of Claude, bit of Turner. Claude was inspired by Turner. Turner was inspired by Claude. They have very similar images hanging next to each other in the National Gallery. It's a bit straightforward. That was a slightly different version of the one earlier, I think. Yeah, see, some of these are very similar. When you see them laid out like this, it's like they're all the bloody same. He's just sold us these presets, and they're all the same. Right, let's go back. Let's have a little play with this one to see if there's any alignment we could be doing to make this better, nicer. Let's turn this that way. Interesting. Let's move that out the way of there. Move that across there. So there's a bit of a line. We just move this. Keep on moving. This is going to end up being there, isn't it? Excuse me. The silence as he thinks. I mean, even something like that, and then just chop out this middle bit. I've got very used to using the D850, haven't I? Because I'm like, yeah, just chop out that. Remembering for the fact this is about 3,000 pixels wide. Because it's from the D700. So yeah. Yeah, there's promise there. It's just getting it all in the right place. Tricky. Right, move this across here. Excuse me. Yeah, very dark and murky there. Don't particularly want that. I want something like that. Do I want lines coming out of the bottom of the image? Is that detracting? There's something about that, though. There is something. One of these annoying images where you got choices to make. All those pixels there. Not ideal. Yeah, there's that. Spirit balances. Let's go lighter. That way. No. No, let's. Other than that, so I can knock the brightness up. I don't know if that works actually. Delay extraction down doesn't really do anything, does it? That's in a little bit of contrast. Boost the saturation. I don't want to boost the saturation. This muted kind of thing I think is better. I just increase the contrast a little bit. See what that does. Just conscious of bringing this back in a little bit. Yeah. Film type, don't really care. Levels and curves, I'd probably pull this down to that. Push that back into the corner. Increase those bright bits a bit. Maybe take the blue back a little bit. Lack of control on these curves. To that. Still thinking just a square crop out of here. I think might be the way to use this image. So, right, lens vignette. Let's just have a little play with this. If we can kind of isolate the image. Oh, look at these. Look at these colors in here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Can we bring those further down or are them closed in or not? Was it not that much? Yeah, I think that works a little bit better, having them closed in a bit more. Let's move that up. I'm conscious that the real sun is there. Yeah, something like that. Let's just pull that back up a little bit, a few percentage marks, so it's not quite as dark in this area. But I think that's looking quite nice. I'll probably hit it in 5 minutes' time. Right, let's go okay with this, and we'll send this back into Photoshop. You've all gone quiet. We all fallen asleep. Has my voice sent you to sleep? Again. Right, I forgot how quickly these things happen when you're not using 40 megapixel files. Right, let's do another one of these just with a different preset, just to see how things are. Gives us another option. One of these top ones, wasn't it? I think. It is. Come on, computer, catch up. Frame rate dropped right off there. Can't remember which one I bloody used now. Let's see how far. Oh, that was that one, wasn't it? Right, so it was one of these up here somewhere. And again, it was the the line across the. It was the line. I'll have a look at this one again as well. It was the line across the screen, which I think that's the thing out of this image, is that line and how it works with the rest of it. I think that's going to be a trick with this type of photography, is identifying I wouldn't call it a theme, but an element that will work in an image. And I don't think it's something you can be taught. I think it's just something you pick up naturally. Unfortunately. It makes it harder to teach. Right, so this one I am thinking a bit of a... Let's just rebalance this. Let's knock the brightness a little bit of brightness. I'm thinking just kind of like a 2x1 crop over that way. Thinking it. Yeah, let's just leave that up there. Brightness. Line. Lens vignette. Okay, that's because I'm thinking cropping along here. Let's just play around with this a little bit. That's the light area. Nah, maybe. If I'm thinking I'm going to crop this here, then maybe, even though the sun is there, maybe we want the vignette to be taking effect around about there, just so it's not this side doesn't get too dark. I think. Maybe something like that. Right, film type. I haven't really played with that today. It's a little bit green feeling, so let's keep that down. Let's go neutral, so it's a bit more contrasty, because otherwise you'll get into that faded kind of feeling. Let's go there. And levels and curves. Without it, it looks like that. With it, it looks like that. To be honest, that looks fine to me. Just increase that brightness a little bit. Let's bring in a little bit of contrast from the curve, just dropping that little bit down a bit. That'll probably about do. Just drop the saturation off a touch. I mean, these are all kind of general applications rather than going back into Photoshop and just bringing the yellow down a little bit or whatever. Just keep it general and then, yeah, just an essence of something, isn't it? Right, we'll okay that and then we'll save them both and back into Photoshop. I think two's enough. Have you all gone? You have all gone to sleep. The chat, either that or the chat's broken. Are you still out there? Wave if you're still out there. You've all gone bored and left me all by myself. Right, I'll save this, and I'll flatten and save the other. Oh, well, David's still here at least. That's all right. You've all just gone quiet. You've all lost your tongues. Alistair's sleeping. I think I would be as well. Come on, computer, save the bloody image. You're all still here. That's wonderful. I was getting alone. Kazi, there's always one. Right, that's that one saved. And then this one. Flatten image, that's the one, isn't it? Flatten. I'll save as. Save. Excuse me. You very fancy. Right, so that is that done. Let's see. That 3 stars. That one 3 stars. Right, so let's do some cropping. So yeah, the end. Possibly there's. I mean, that kind of works as a 1x1. I didn't realise there was a kind of a nice middle strip right in the middle there. You know, equidistant there to there. It's right there. Don't think it works that well, but it's an option. But the crop I was thinking of, let's go 2x1. Maybe not. Let's go 16x9. Let's get to about there. Pull in from that side. Thought it might have been a bit deeper than that. Not to worry. We can probably go with that. I think that looks all right, actually. It's these smaller files, these small files. I'm not used to them. Quite restrictive. And then this one, I think this one is a square crop. Well, let's just make a copy. Yeah, I think square crop might be the one for that previous one, but I'm hoping this one, either a square crop or a vertical, which is probably not a good idea because it's such a small file. So let's go 1x1 and then make this smaller and something like about so. Like about there, something. I can maybe enhance this a bit in post. in post. We're in post, Andy, you fool. Let's go radial filter. And let's not go too bright. Let's go contrast and a little bit of brightness. Bit of clarity. Bit of texture. Not that much texture. Cool it off a bit. Not that much. Trying to get back to white. Maybe something like that. Range mask, luminance. Let's go click on the bright bit. Something like that. Show the luminance mask. So let's tighten that right up to that. Let's go quite far that way. To there. Take that off. And actually knock that off. I think. No, it's not going to work for the sun and the sky. Let's leave that. Keep that off, but we've enhanced that bit a bit just to add on a bit more crunch, which is fine. I would like to kind of age this color a little bit more as well. Let's go to tint. It's probably not. No, it's not quite. No, that is a little bit of blue and a little bit of magenta. Add in a bit of contrast. Oh, I just knacked it. I think I might have just knacked it. I don't know. I would like to get more from this sun here. I don't know. You know, it's a bit of an orb at the minute. Maybe it's a... Come on. A doodah. A graduated adjustment. Let's flatten that out. Clarity. Texture. It's adding a bit more into the sky, isn't it? It's not really enhancing this orb. But contrast could be okay. Highlights is just hitting everything because it is quite a very wide-ranging luminance of this bit. So that's maybe not. I'm also making the mistake of looking at my other screen, which looks up way better. I must say. Right, I'm going to undo this colour thing that I've just done. Oh, God. To about there, maybe. I'm doing a bit of reduce a little bit of vibrance, add in a little bit of saturation there, something like that. I think that looks a bit better. Now, do I need to adjust this? Sorry, I'm very pedantic now with this. I don't mean to be. What we need is a kind of sliding scale adjustment on this now. So if I reduce that by half-ish, not by half, will that reduce the effects? Yeah, I think so. That doesn't really do anything. Right. I think I need to stop before I get myself completely lost. I'm looking at my other screen and it looks way better than what it does here. I may need to do further work on this, but yeah, at the minute I quite like this one. Right, so let's make another copy of this. Let's crop vertically. So 4x5, yes. Let's do that. Let's crop vertically. Let's go to something. See, I don't really like going vertical at 2x3, but to get that, keep that narrow, because I feel it's always too narrow, but to keep these edges out, you know, these bits. I don't know. Yeah, maybe something like that. Right, okay. So we've got that one. Square. I think square copy probably does actually work, but look at the difference between those. I think square crop. Have a look at that. Maybe he's gone a little bit overboard with the adjusting this gain area, but not to worry, not to worry, not to worry. It's only a bloody picture. I think square crop actually works better on this one. Oh well, there we go. So out of that, we've got two square crops. I think that work. Lovely jubbly. Not sure. Did a little bit more work in this. I might be happier. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of happy with that one. I think I just need to play with the colour a little bit. And maybe take away what I've done to the sparkly water. Right then. That'll be your 2 images for tonight. You can all stop editing your images and come back to watch me now. So yeah, that'll do for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Much appreciate your support and your eyeballs and your ears listening whilst you do your own editing or falling asleep or whatever you want to do. Thank you very much for that. If you've enjoyed the stream or like the images or whatever, please do leave the stream a thumbs up right now. Would be appreciated. These kind of things always help. If you don't already, please subscribe. If you don't already on other things, please do follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And if you really must, Facebook. I am never on Facebook these days. Do drop us a follow on those. What else? If you got loads of money, go buy NFTs. Yeah, if you want to support us in small ways and get little things back, then there's Patreon. Go find out that. There's links down below that you can find all that stuff about. Not a problem, David. Thank you very much for watching. Nice to see you in chat. Randomly right at the end. Thank you, Faker. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alistair. I think they came out. I think they came out all right. Not bad for 6-year-old images, eh? Repurposed, redesigned, and going back into the world potentially. So we'll see. But I think that they come out quite nice. And if I don't get out to make more photography in the next week, then we'll probably be back in the archives again. This time next week, because that just seems to be what we're doing at the minute. Grand. Right then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, keep hard. See you.